Hi everyone, welcome to Hashtag Academy. We are so delighted and excited to be online today, and this happens to be our first live video. So, in this video, we get to talk about what cybersecurity is. Yep. So, when you go through the videos that we posted, yeah, we started off this channel by posting some videos, and when you watch these videos, you get to understand the message or the content of the videos and the message that we are passing across. So the message is centered around cybersecurity, cyber hygiene, and best practices. So basically, this channel is to talk about cybersecurity. So we want to teach cybersecurity related skills from basic to advanced level. And we started off with the basic knowledge in cybersecurity, and this is something that everyone needs to understand. It's of high importance that we understand the basics, our hygiene, our online hygiene. How well do we protect ourselves? How well do we protect our devices? And how well do we protect our information? How well do we protect our network? So these are very basic things that we need to be aware of. We don't really need to know what cybersecurity is like, have a deeper understanding of about cybersecurity. We don't really need that, but we need to understand things that are so relevant. These are little things that when we know, we don't become a victim. We wouldn't easily become a victim to these cyber criminals. So there are a whole lot of people out there who are proactively seeking for our information. They are looking for this information to use it against us and for the purpose of extorting money from us and people around us, and also committing other malicious crimes like using our information to impersonate us. So once we are impersonated, they can use our identity to maliciously deceive other people that we know or use our identity to commit other heinous crimes. So these are things that we need to understand, that we need to put in practice the right hygiene. We need to practice the right hygiene, follow the best practices. And there are certain things that we need to do. So when you watch the videos that we posted in the previous week, you will get to understand that the video talks about our practices, our hygiene, and we started off with password. Yeah, so password is more like the most common ways that cyber criminals use in getting into our devices, our accounts, and getting hold of our information. And that is the first point of entry. And we need to ensure that our passwords are kept confidential, our passwords are safe, and our passwords are very strong. Yeah, so these are the things that we mentioned in the videos. And we talked about ways that we can set up a good password. But before then, we started off by explaining how important password security is. Password security are ways that we protect our passwords, and how what are some of the ways that we protect our password. We talked about not displaying your password in the open. A lot of us are victims of this. Like we always engage ourselves in writing our password, writing our password on a sheet of paper, or maybe writing our password in the open where people can see, and you don't really know who probably exists around us. You don't really know who the next person is, and you don't know the intentions of the other person. So it's very important that you don't display your password in the open. And in the video where we talked about password confidentiality, it also emphasized on the character that we used, which was her name was Esther, and Esther's cousin Charles was the person that extorted money from Esther and no other person. This is someone that was very close to Esther. They were both living in the same house, but unknown to Esther, she was not aware that her cousin was a cyber criminal, and she displayed her password in the open. He got hold of that information and used it against her. So it's very important that we understand that our passwords are confidential information and should be kept secret and private. We should be the only one that knows what our password is, and no other person should have such knowledge. So now let's look at the other aspect that we talked about. We also mentioned that our passwords should not be reused. Yeah. So having a confidential password is not enough, and having a strong password is not enough. We also talked about our strong password being strong. And when we talk about having a strong password, there are certain requirements that we need to follow in order for us to have a good and strong password. And what are some of these requirements? When you have a combination of uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, and 12 characters long. So how do you expect someone else to know the password that you are using? That would be quite impossible. And we went on to differentiate between a weak password and a strong password. And when we talked about weak password, we explained that weak password are passwords that has to do with things around us. So many people go to the extreme of using their birthdays. You can imagine using your birthday as your password. So if I know that you're a kind of person that usually use your birthdays as your password or things around you, or probably at a glance, I'm able to see that, oh, this is her birthday. So she usually uses her birthday as a password. That's so easy for me to memorize. It's easy for me to remember. The person don't really need to look so well to see that, or look so well to really understand what the password is. No, just at a glance, he gets hold of that information. So it's very wrong that we use things that are related to us, things that exist around us as our passwords. So that is a no, 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 no. That is a wrong hygiene. That's a wrong hygiene. We should avoid using such. So now, having understood the requirement for a good password, we went on to talk about password reuse. So password reuse is important that we know that is a wrong practice. A lot of us use the same password for all our accounts. That is a wrong practice. It is a no, 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 no. If you are if you are involved in that, then your account is vulnerable. Yeah, your account is definitely vulnerable because anybody that knows your password can log into all your accounts. And remember, our account protects some confidential information. Our account protects some services that are tied to us. So you can imagine someone having your password, and that same password is a password that you use in logging into your bank website or application. So the person can also use that information to impersonate you, get in legitimately, and extort money from you legitimately. So your bank is not held accountable for this act, but rather you are held accountable because it's out of your ignorance that you became a victim. So it's important that we understand that password reuse is a no, 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 no. We understand that a lot of us will say, how do I need to know hundreds of passwords for 100 of my accounts? So I have like 100 online accounts, and you expect me to have 100 passwords for each of these accounts, that like 100 passwords for all the accounts that I have opened. That is very impossible. We know that it is impossible. This is something that the human brain cannot comprehend, that the human brain cannot accommodate such information. So that is why in this video we would also be talking about a technology that would help us store our password securely and also give us a very strong password. We can randomly generate strong password using this technology. It can help us store our password, it can help us secure our password, and it can also help us define or determine if the password that we are using is a weak password or a strong password. Now let's also go back to the first video where we talked about ransomware. And ransomware happens to be like the most common and prevalent attack a lot of organizations have been breached with ransomware attack, and it's very important we understand this. Yeah, individuals may feel that, oh, ransomware attack is something that is targeted to organizations, so it's not something that is applicable to me. It's applicable to you as an individual because we consist of the organization, we make up the organization. You are a person in your organization. You also have a role to play in your organization. The people, the technology, and the process makes up the organization. So if the people is vulnerable, the technology is good, the process is okay, but the people is vulnerable, then there is a problem. And that is a very big problem because cyber criminals understand that the humans are the weakest point in security. When you talk about security, the humans are really weak. We are not strong. So we are bound to make mistakes, different kinds of mistakes. And these mistakes are things that we do that exposes us to such attacks. So we are majorly like the attack surface, like we are the point of entry. So that is why we need to understand what is expected of us. We need to begin to do the right thing in order for us not to be the reason why an attack took place in our organization or attack eventually take place wherever we find ourselves. So a ransomware attack is an attack that an adversary or a criminal uses against an organization by encrypting the devices of the organization, encrypting their files, devices, their operating system, encrypts this environment, and demands a ransom from the organization before they can be able to decrypt it. And decrypting what has been encrypted is 50-50. So there is a probability that they may not end up decrypting the what they have locked up. There's a probability that that may not be achievable. So it's best we are on the right track by doing the right thing. So an attack, okay, going back to the video that we posted. So you saw that the attack took place from a human. So it was a human that was the point of entry, and that human was not a cybersecurity professional. He was not a cybersecurity practitioner, but he was just the engineer in the organization. So he was just a mechanical engineer. And unknown to him, because he has no idea about such kind of attack. So he got a mail, and on receiving the mail, he quickly and hurriedly responded to it because the mail stated that he had won a jackpot. He had won something that he never but like something that he never took part in. And a mail came in and told him that he had won something that he never took part in. And he responded to it. He hurriedly responded to it and became a point of entry. The attack started with him. A malware was introduced to his device, and from his device, it spread across the network, infected other devices within the network. And the attacker was able to achieve his aim by encrypting these devices and demanding a ransom from the organization. So it's important that we practice the best cyber hygiene. We follow the practices that helps us to do the right thing. So these practices are in place for us to do the right thing. We started with password security, and there's a lot more that we'll be introducing over time. So it's best you agree to this channel, and if you are yet to subscribe, you've not subscribed, you've not liked, you've not followed our channels, please, this is the right time for you to like, subscribe, and follow so that when we post a new video, and please for the YouTube followers, click on the notification bell. So when we post a new video, you'll be notified about it. So moving forward, we would also be doing a demo, yeah, a demo on a technology, and the technology is what we call one password. So we talked about password security. So majority of the like all the videos that was posted during the week and last week talked about password security. So we've talked about password confidentiality. We went on to talk about how we can create a good password, a strong password that cannot be easily compromised. And we also went on to talk about um, password we use, which is a no for us. Like we don't need to use the same password for all our accounts. And we understand that the human mind is so weak enough that we are not able to accommodate all this information. So in this video, we'll also be introducing you to a technology that can help you retain your password, can help you store your password, secure your password, retain your password, and determine if you are using a weak password, a good password. And it can also help you generate good and strong passwords. So the technology that we'll be introducing in this video is what we call one password. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back where we'll get to demo one password. See you in a short while.